All the houses are opportunities, but not every opportunity is your house, right? If 8 works for you, run with 8. The difference between you winning and not winning this year will be not what you say yes to, but it will be what you say no to. Some people are just wanting to build a business. Mr. Jones, what percentage of that, how much of that 400,000, 200,000, 10,000, 30,000? So you know how you get out of your own head? Activity, y'all. Something that's, if they don't do that, I don't care how good you think they are, drop them. Haven real talk here. So I'm talking about setting goals. So when I came to America, I love basketball. Guys, I love basketball so much that I would have played it for free. We played it every day of the week. Like I wanted to go to the NBA. And I was a shorty. I was like, who's that short dude? Spud Webb. I was short. I played. Then all of a sudden in 1998, World Cup came. And you guys know I'm from Africa. I played soccer when I was a kid. I forgot about soccer, man. I was in America. I played basketball. Man, my eyes woke up. And I felt I really wanted to play soccer. So I went all of a sudden, starting to following these people I saw on TV. But you know what I found out when I went to actually try out for the team? I sucked real bad. And so I remember when they came out with the starting lineup. I mean, I was better in my head than I actually was on the field. Like for real, I thought it was really good. So when the coach gets into the starting lineup, he goes, he puts all the names up. I'm like, man, the coach is crazy. He forgot my name. And I realized I was really bad, y'all. I was really bad. That whole year goes by. I rode the bench, played a little bit, rode the bench, but I really had it in my heart to be good, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm getting somewhere with this. I stuck and stayed. I stayed up every practice, all that stuff. But I was like, man, hey, ain't no way I'm going to be on the bench again. That summer, when everyone was chilling, every day of the week, every day, Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., I was on the field. Dirt field, practicing every day of the week. I came back to that tryouts next year, and now only was I started. The coach said, I kid you not, he goes, Matt, hey, he goes, what happened to you? I transformed. So I'm giving you the story that on the weekends, you got to do what the masses won't do. That's how you get good. So earn your weekends off based on your goals. Now, these are the goals that everyone has always had. Maybe you say, you know what? Full-time goal for me is $8,000. Okay, cool. Run with that because my goal isn't your goal. This is just a vehicle. You get off when the bus stops at your location, right? If 8 works for you, run with 8. But here's my thing about it. If you're struggling and you're still making 8 and you're saying that's your goal, you're fooling yourself. So if it works for you, run with it. And if that is the goal you hit, then wonderful. So just remember that's the case. So for recognition, we had some folks that actually ran this weekend. I think we had Joel, and we have Rose. Justin ran this weekend as well. So congratulations to those folks. All right. The topic for just some product discussion is going to be a theme, annuities. So annuities are like elephants. It takes a little bit to get them down, but when they're down, you're going to eat for a good season. Okay. Annuities are those things that agents, they get scared about because they think it's complicated. So I'm going to just, in maybe 2 minutes, talk about what an annuity is. Then I'm going to talk about who we use and maybe annuities for dummies. I'll say this, if you're doing your job, you should be finding an annuity once a month. What's your job? Well, in order to find an annuity, in order to find an elephant, you need to ask the question. There's 2 questions you ask. There's a golden question, and then there's a silver question. If you ask the golden question every appointment, I don't care whether the person is living under a box, every appointment, because the reason you're missing annuities is because you're probably judging people and you're not asking them. Be regimented. Remember, top producers, they are broken records. They say the same thing every time. What's that golden question? Do you have anything that acts like life insurance, like a 401k, IRA, or stocks that would pay off to so-and-so if you passed? I'm going to repeat. Every appointment, y'all. Remember, you're doing the financial inventory. Where we at? You guys know it? Doing the financial inventory. It's right here. It's even in here. Do you have anything that acts like life insurance? A golden question. And no, not a big deal. They say no, no. Yeah. They'll say, yeah, I got this IRA. I got this. I got this. And just circle it. Just it's all right. Let's say they say, I have an IRA. You say, oh, okay. And here's my next question to that. Is that protected from loss? Guess what they're going to tell you? No. Okay. I think I have don't get all excited. I have a solution for you. I'm going to get back to that when we're done. The silver question. Do you have any significant savings that you use for a rainy day fund? Because some people are just sitting on like 50 grand, 100 grand, just because. The only reason they're doing that, they don't know of any better place to put it. Had a guy once, he had 100 grand in his account just because. When I told him what annuity does, he goes, why have I never heard of this? I said, that's why I'm here. I'm sorry. So golden question again. Do you have anything that acts like life insurance? Silver question. Do you have anything like a significant savings? Now, there's a couple ways you can say that. One way you can say it is, maybe some people feel weird about asking people about their account. Guys, you're a doctor. I mean, think about the things that we go to doctors for. Like, stop being weird. Like, be a professional. If you go to a doctor, I mean, you guys know there's some embarrassing stuff. Like, hey, man, when you're over like 40, 50, endoscopy, right? We got to do it. Colonoscopy, we got to do it. But does the doctor act all weird? So could you, I mean, come on now. He just does his stuff. He's been doing it. He knows. He's looking for something. He's trying to help you out. So stop feeling weird about asking people for their account information. You're trying to help them. There's no, come on. So, and if they are weird to you, they don't really want your help. You haven't gained their trust. You messed up somewhere. That's what it means. So here's another way I ask it. Hey, most of my clients, and hey, I got this not from me, because from a top producer who was doing 60 families a week. He said, hey, most of my clients have a rainy day fund. They're putting away $200, $300, $500 a month. Whereabouts do you fall? I got that straight from him. Man, people just gave it up. Most of my clients have a rainy day fund. They're putting away $200, $300, $500 a month when you fall. That's another way, right? Okay. Anyway, they tell you, you circle it. Perfect. Those are the ways you find it. You should be doing one annuity a month if you're asking the question. Now, even if you are asking the question, if you do not run enough appointments, you will never find one. You have to run enough. So what is an annuity? Well, an annuity is a way to protect your money. There's accumulating it. People work for years, getting all this money, saving, because that was their thing. A lot of the baby boomers who came from, just hard times, Great Depression times, their parents, they were savers. That's what they know what to do. They're not taught. Most people are not taught finances in school. They even have 401ks sitting around. They don't know any better, that it's just losing money. So when you get to the point where you accumulate all this money, it's still in the market. The market goes up, and the market goes down. Now, I'll give you the example of my parents, my in-laws. They accumulate over $1 million. Over $1 million, y'all. And I'm talking 50 years working hard to accumulate it because of one market crash, because the market goes, they call it a bear market. Bear meaning it'll maul you and destroy your savings. Or it'll be a bull market. A bull is just going. It's running, it's gaining money. But it's cyclical. You don't know when that cycle will run or stop. So they spent all this time. It was 1.2, 1.3, boom, half in like a week. Gone. So an annuity is an opportunity to protect that. So there's a lump sum of money. They put it with a company. The company we use is Athene. Now, there's a lot of companies that we can use. Athene is the one that we use because they're awesome. They're number one for a reason. There's NLG, there's F&G. There's a lot of companies that do annuities, but Athene is who we use. Just remember that. So what happened is their money goes in with Athene, and depending on the product, they will give them a bonus. So get this, guys. My parents had lost, my in-laws, they lost about 50 grand the last couple of years. And this is what people don't understand about annuities. They say, well, let me wait for the market to come back up. They lost 10%. Well, let me wait. But if you lost 10%, do you know how much the market has to go up for you to get back to where you are? Think about it. It has to go 20 for you to even get to the next stage. It has to gain 20% to get to where you were from the beginning, then grow. What was cool with their situation is I think they brought over about 450 grand, and Athene bonused them. They gave them a bonus just for bringing their money over. I think they bonused them like 30 to 40, 50 grand. Like they recouped years of losses with one product. And what was better, my father-in-law would get up every morning, heart beating, checking the market, seeing how much he lost. You don't have to do it anymore. Because with annuities, you don't lose your principal, in essence. So it's like an IUL. It participates in the market. So when the market goes up, it gets some of the gains. So let's say the market went up, I don't know, 15%. It wouldn't get all of it. Maybe it would get 8, maybe 7, right? Maybe 9. I've seen it get more than that, but let's just say being conservative. But here's the cool thing. When the market goes down, it loses what? 0. It's a 0 floor. It waits for it and comes back up. True story. Warren Buffett, Warren Buffett, the investor, #1 investor, he had a bet with another guy. I forget who his name was. He was also in the market. Warren Buffett bet that an annuity over time would beat stocks. So he stuffed a lot of cash in annuity, and they did the bet over 10 years. And guess what won? The annuity won. So annuities are a big deal. That's what annuity is. So how to do an annuity? I will say we have this is how to do one. It's simple. So if you're brand new and you've heard, man, annuities are awesome, I'm looking for an elephant. Man, the elephant looks scary. It is scary. I mean, not scary. It's just big. But it doesn't have to be, because you don't have to take it down yourself. Here's what it looks like. You just have to be a bird dog. So imagine, hey, I'm from Africa, so I can use this example. Imagine your job was to go find the elephant. The tribe would hunt him down. Think about that. So you're just out there looking, oh, there's an elephant. That's it. Let the tribe know. They will take him down. What do I mean by that? Well, you sniff one down, and here's all you have to say. Mr. Jones. And this is how I say it, because I'll say it this way. Without an illustration, you have nothing. I used to find an annuity, think, oh, I got it all. Let me show you all this. If they're not going to give you illustration, you got nothing. So the way to know whether you got a real deal is to get an illustration. So I already said, Mr. Jones, hey, and here's some phrases you can use if you want to. Write them down. I just used them. I didn't know what they meant. I used them and it worked. Mr. Jones, what percentage of that, how much of that 400,000, 200,000, 10,000, 30,000 can you afford to lose? Guess what they'll say? Nothing. Perfect. So, Mr. Jones, there is a program that most people are putting that kind of money in, where you actually never lose money. It actually just gains, but it protects what you have. But you can't just get this. You have to be you actually have to be suitable for it. So what they have to have me do is, because this is government regulated, they can only provide you an alternative if they will put you in a better position, because we have no license to lose money. We only have a license to gain money. So what they'll have me do is just take a little summary of what you have to make sure they're comparing apples to apples. And if they can put you in a better position, Mr. Jones, they'll kick me out in illustration, and I will show you what they can do. If you like it, they'll send it to another area where they'll see if it works for you, if it's suitable, if you qualify. And if you do, then we can talk about the funds coming over. So, Mr. Jones, how hard, remember this phrase, how hard would it be for you just to get a quick snapshot of the summary of what you have, just so we can know what we're comparing to? Guess what they'll say? I've seen an 80-year-old. Oh, not a problem. Or here's what you know. They either get a statement once a quarter, or they can go online whenever they want. He says, not hard. I said, do you get a statement once a quarter, or do you have an old one, or maybe something somewhat recent, or are you able to jump online and just take a quick snapshot? They'll say one or the other, because they're excited. Because why? You can't lose the money. And I told them, and legally, y'all, we can only legally present something that puts them in a better position. So when they know we could only do that and help them, why would they say no? You get the illustration, and here's the cool. You're in the bird doc. You got the picture. My first annuity, I had no idea what I was doing. I knew I got the picture. And here's what I cool. We got a team called the SRS team. We take a picture, we send it into the SRS team, and that's a whole nother thing. It's easy to do. When you get one, let me know. The SRS team, they got experts, y'all. They will look at it. They will then recommend the best program. And they will send you an illustration of what the best recommendation of the client is. All you need to do at that point, you book an appointment, and boom, the rest is history. And normally, just so you know, give them 48 hours. So when I'm there and I got the illustration with the client, I book an appointment. I say, hey, Mr. Jones, it takes them about 48 hours. So what I'll do is let's go ahead and set an appointment so that I can go over, just in case if they find something, go over what they have. And if they don't find anything, I'll just let you know. But we at least get the appointment. It's called a BAM FAM, book a meeting from a meeting, right? You book the meeting, they send you illustration. If you're brand new, don't worry. Guess what happens? You ask someone to come with you. You ask them to do a Zoom with you. And that's how I learned. I had someone and I do a split. I said, hey, I'll give you, I don't know, 3%, whatever percent that they wanted. Because, a percentage of something is better than 0 of 100, right? That's what I did. I did about 3-4 times. And I was like, is that easy? I had it. I did it. I was like, wow, cool. It really is that simple. They like it. And then the application is so simple. But what I love about the SRS team, right, is when you're doing the application, if you've ever done an F&G app, it's simple. It's just like that, an IUL with F&G. You put the information in, and SRS will double check your work. They will make sure it's suitable. There's some things that you have to know. The person doing it with you will let you know because they're getting a cut of it. They will make sure that they work all the back stuff. But even if you're doing it yourself, the SRS team will say, hey, you got to change this. Or, hey, ask the client about this. Because even if they have give you an example, they don't just let them put their whole life savings in this. This is literally government regulated, y'all. Like, you can't just do it. So there's certain rules that you got to have, and then the SRS team will let you know, because if you submit it directly with a theme and it doesn't fit suitability, you can't even go back and fix it. You're done. But the SRS team, if you submit it to them first, they will do all the back end work for you. So just remember that as you go through. That's an annuity, y'all. That's an annuity. How do annuities pay? Well, typically you start off about 5%. 5%, I think, goes all the way up to like 8, 9, I think. And it's lifetime. So if you've written, like 200,000, you go up little by little, and 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, a million, and then it just goes up. So let's say you found an annuity for, I don't know, someone had some money sitting, 400,000. That's not bad. You multiply that real quick. I'm not great at math, but 5%, that's 20 grand, y'all. 20 grand. That's how long can you eat that elephant? There's some months when I remember I was sick or something happened in my life where I wasn't selling as much. You know what saved my bacon? An annuity that I found just because I was doing appointments. So that's what annuity is. Now, when we do one, we'll show you. Your job is just to find one. Just find one. Learn the phraseology to sniff one out by saying the golden and the silver question every time. When you find it, let someone know, let the tribe know, hey, I found one. And then we'll show you how to do it. Send an illustration in. You'll do 2, 3, 4 of these. You'll be an expert. And over time, maybe you don't want to be an expert. It's okay. Just keep finding them. We got you. That's what annuity is. There are some situations where you'll use other companies, but Athene takes majority of people. And the reason would be age, the amount. Typically, the minimum for an annuity is 10 grand. 10 grand minimum, typically. There's some times when I have a guy right now, he has about $500,000. We were going to do an IBC, but because of some qualification issues, health-wise, he had to do an annuity. So mortgage protection clients. I've had a client who they couldn't qualify because of health for a mortgage protection program, but we did a backdoor. We did an annuity. Why not? Because it's actually a life insurance product. You're going to find that financial advisors get life insurance licenses for this reason, because they normally don't. They'll kick off, they'll do mutual fund, blah, blah. But we specifically, it's a life insurance product. Like FAs can't just offer this because, again, you can't lose money. They have a license to lose you money. We don't. Make sense? So remember that phraseology. I don't have a license to lose you money, only make you money. You know how much confidence that'll give you? Imagine if someone told you that. Would you be like, yeah, that's pretty good, huh? Yeah, that's pretty good. Remember that. All right, so that's the product for, just remember every question. How do you find one? How do you make sure you walk enough steps to find one? If you're part-time, 15 appointments a week. Remember, part-time is you're helping 2 to 5 families a week minimum, part-time. That's how you know whether you're on track. If you're going to New York, you want to do it within 48 hours, you have to surpass a certain amount of miles daily, right? If you to know whether you're going the right direction, whether you're going the right speed, you got to be doing 2 to 5 a week. If you're not, go faster. Something needs to change. If you're full-time, 30 appointments a week without fail. 30 appointments. Now, this is booked appointments. I didn't say showed. You at least book 30 a week. Part-time, you book 15. Now, we know life is life. 20% will fall off. That's just the way it is. If you have now that's if you're in home, by the way, in home is 20% no show rate. Telesales, it's about a 50%. Just being real with you. 50%. Be prepared. So you stack the deck in your favor. So if I was doing telesales full-time, the equivalent of 30 appointments a week, telesales, is about 45 to 50 appointments a week. 50 appointments a week. You'll see a guy in a conference. His name is Riyadh Masala. He does about 40 appointments a week. He actually has dialers that book his appointments from Age Mortgage Protection. They book him 40. I've asked him, he lives here in Arizona. Hey, what's your ratio? He says 50% don't show up. Out of this, so I get 20 appointments. He's like, I get 20 that show. 10 about, idiots, or whatever. And I sell, no, he says about, maybe 9, 8. I sell about 10. He sells 10 policies. This guy he did over 400 families a week. A year. So just remember that. That's how you know whether you're going enough speed to find an annuity, right? That's the key. I found annuities in the most interesting places, yo. I'm just telling you, just don't judge because you're not God. You'll hear multiple stories of just ask the question, ask the question, ask the question. All right, we're going to transition. We're going to talk about houses. I'm going to talk about 2 things. How to get out of your own head. How to get out of your own head. And also, we're going to talk about houses. So we're going to talk about leads in conjunction with how to get out of your own head. Some of us, we're in 2024. We are good and we're in our own head. Here's what I mean by in your own head. You guys ever had it or seen it where a superstar, whether it be Kobe, Shaq, tennis player, they were superstars, but they're choking in the middle of a championship? You guys ever seen that happen? How does that happen? How do you get so good? And then when you're so good at what you do, but you can't even hit a shot. You can't even make a basket. You can't even hit this. Come on, how does that work? You're in your own head. Tony Robbins, he is hired by these top athletes to get them back in their head. Talked about, I don't know, it was Dwayne, it was Jordan. I know the president, like back in the day, Clinton, like all these people that need to perform. He says, I'm the guy you call when you're in your own head. You need to make a decision, but something's off. So some of the things he talks about, it's critical for you because some of us are in our own head. We are good in our own right, but we are overcomplicating it. Something is not clicking. How do you get back to who you were, the simplicity of it, so that you just stop? Well, I'm going to put you like this. First things first. I'm going to remember the best way to do it is go back to what works. Keep it simple. Normally, you are overcomplicating the process. So write down, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Here's how I simplify it. So there was a time when I was running leads, and even now, I run and check, try different leads. I'm trying to increase my skill set. Here's what happens. I'm like, man, it just doesn't go as well, maybe. And I start to doubt myself. This guy, I doubt myself. Man, can I sell? Like, I'm a Hall of Famer, like for real. Like me, I start to doubt myself. And you know how I regain my balance? Imagine when you're dizzy. If you've ever had that little merry-go-round thing when you were kids, when you kind of like just jumped on it and went around, and you got off and you're like, whoa. When I got on that, the first thing that I did, I touched the ground because you're so dizzy. You need to kind of touch ground, get grounded. How do you get grounded in this business? Well, go back to what works. Here's what works. Buy leads, dial leads, run appointments. So you know what works when I would run Age Mortgage leads, a new lead vendor, it didn't work. And I'm like, wow, I got stomped this week. You know what I would do? I would buy a bunch of leads and I would go run them. And I would stack the deck in my favor because I know, you know what will always work? Activity. Work ethic will always beat anything. Work ethic will beat talent any day of the week. It's not about lead type, it's lead flow. I'm gonna give you an example, then I'll continue to how to get out of your own head. It's houses. So my brother-in-law, he flipped houses. Now, when you're doing houses, there's a couple of ways you can do things. You can go in mass quantities, or you can be specific. So he would bid on foreclosed homes or bank-owned homes. So in order to be successful, you would have a certain pot of money. Maybe you only had 20 grand, 30 grand, because you would have to put a certain percentage down on the house to get the house. And the hope is you flip the house before that money is due. That's the hope. So you would be looking, which house? Oh, not that one. Here's what I'm telling you. All the houses are opportunities, but not every opportunity is your house. So you can be specific all day long, and you can wait for the right house, wait for the right lead. You can do that all day long, but you're going to be sitting hurting for a while. That's how you get in your own head. You're starting to question, man, look, okay, those windows, okay, if they were more square, maybe I would sell more. You start asking these crazy questions. They got nothing to do with your success. Or you could just be like the other guy, who he just buys a bunch of cheaper houses, and he knows that the margins will be smaller. But guess what? He also knows enough houses will create the same amount of income that you would have made with one lump sum house. So you know how you get out of your own head? Activity, y'all. Activity. Go fail. And that's what I do. I know, I'm telling you, when I'm weak, I just buy some leads and I run them hard. And I just pray to God, there's someone in that list that's looking for me. And you know what happens? That's what gives me confidence to go over the FUs. Leave me alone. Don't want it. Blah, 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 blah. All these ridiculous excuses of people who are not putting their family first. Because when I go to that house and I help that grandma, that grandpa, that dad, and I'm looking them in the face, it makes all the difference for me. I did my work. I did my job. It was more than making money. It was putting that person in the right place. And I'm doing God's work now. And now I regain my confidence. And I'm doing the right thing. Then I do it again and again, and it builds in itself, little by little by little. And all of a sudden, my confidence is back. Now I'm closing deals left and right. And people are saying, oh, Mac, you're just so good. No, I just went to work. I stacked the deck in my favor. I created confidence. Now no one can tell you no. That's how you do it. So get out of your own head by just going and stack the deck in your favor. It would be better if you bought 3 million aged leads and dial the heck out of them than you waiting to get like the perfect lead that just filled it out. I guarantee you there are people, there's meat on that bone, and that meat is yours. Just remember that as you go through. The last thing, and we'll throw it for questions, because this might be a short one, that I wanted to share was, in this year, we make a lot of goals. The power of us winning this battle at some point is not going to be saying yes, it's going to be saying no. Some people, they're not in your race. Some people, they just had to get the confidence to even say yes to the right goals. They were saying yes to the wrong things before, going out to eat when they shouldn't have, drinking when they shouldn't have, all these things that they shouldn't have done. They were saying yes. They weren't even saying yes to the right things. They have now grown a little bit. Now they're saying yes to the right goals. But before you get knocked out and sidelined, I want to let you know what your enemy is this year. If you're going to be more in 24, your power, or I'll say it this way, the difference between you winning and not winning this year will be not what you say yes to, but it will be what you say no to. You're going to have to say no to a lot of things. Some of you are already producing. And if you aren't, you will. I guarantee you, you will. You will start producing 10, 15, 20. And you guess what will come out of the woodwork? You guys ever had it where you start making some money? Like when you needed money and you were applying for credit cards, no one would approve you. But when you're making all this money, guess what they want to give you? All these credit cards. Put you in debt, right? So what I'm saying is when you start producing, you'll start getting hit up by all these opportunities. Opportunities to do this, do this, do this. You're going to have to get good at saying no. The power of no will be more important to you this year than the power of yes. Because here's a challenge with you. Top producers, top people, active people, they are really, really good at doing a lot at one time. They want to do more. That's the very problem. They do too much. And you're going to have a focus. Focus is going to be your challenge. So it's going to be what you say no to. No, I'm not going to do this. I can't, I'm not going to do, nope. I'm not, nope. I'm going to do that. No, 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 no. So you're already past the yeses. It's now time to say no and just hit it. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I've been hit up by everything, crypto, solar. You tell them every opportunity out there, I've been hit up. And it's not that those are bad things. For me, it's just what I know. You have to have a goal. And for you, if your goal is 8 a month, then hey, get off that train. Go do what you're going to do. But my goal is $1 million a month. That's my goal. And I ain't getting off the train until I get there. And I'll say this as we close. As you build this business, here's what's going to happen. You have to make a decision, and you're going to meet different kinds of people. Some people are just wanting to build a business. Some agency owners, they're all about it's just making money for them. There's nothing wrong with that. This is free enterprise, and you're supposed to do that. And so everything they do will be about making money. That will be how they make decisions. It's like stockholders. You know, when a company goes from private to becoming a stock company, the decisions of the company are now based on what gives money for the stockholders. It isn't necessarily what's best for them. Make sense? It's, do you want to build a team or do you want to build a business? It's a question you got to ask yourself. Do you want to build a family or do you want to build a business? Now, you can't just build a family only because this is a business, but you got to build a culture. So decide that right now. What culture are you building? I don't care if you haven't sold zero policies. You will. What culture are you building? And you know how you build your culture? You start with you. What attitude will you allow to foster in this business of yours? Will it be negativity? And if you're the only person in your business right now, think about like a petri dish. There's a certain environment that certain diseases need in order to function. Are you harboring disease environment? What about laziness? Is that the culture you want to build? Is that okay with you? What, all the things that you say you want in your culture, you got to be that person for a season. Not forever, just for a season. And you guys have seen me, I work a lot. Now, it doesn't because I'm a workaholic. I would rather just hang out with my kids, but I have things I got to fulfill. And in order to do it, you can't ever expect people to follow you if you are not willing to do what you were going to ask them to do. You know, when I ask people to come to conference when they're dead broke, I'm talking they got nothing in their bank account. You know how I can confidently ask people to do that? Because I've been there. I remember, you know how I can ask someone to come to conference because even if they have like an important event, because I've been there. You know how I can ask someone to come to conference even if they're sick? I remember I had just had surgery on my knee. It was my second, I think it was my first or second surgery. It was surgery on my knee the previous week. And most folks, you get on the plane, no. I was at conference with crutches on, because I had to be there. Because how in the world will you expect to wield power in your words when the very obstacle that's before you, you can overcome? You will never have that power. You can never take someone a place you've never been, ever. If you can, great. They call you a politician. But I like to follow a leader. Like the leaders that I follow, they will never ask me to do something that they have never done. Or I know they will do it for me, or they are willing to do it themselves. So here's what I'm sharing with you. The things that are confronting you, they're on purpose. And if you miss the test, I'm going to be real with you. You're going to miss it. That test may not come back for days, for weeks, for a month. Maybe you were meant to overcome that so that when you met the person that was going to be the guy, the gal, you would be able to confidently say, you know what, man, I know how you feel. I've been there, but here's what I found. I did this, and here I am. Or versus, well, good luck with that. So just remember, all these things that are confronting you, they're confronting you for a reason. My test is not yours. Yours isn't mine. But here's what I will say. We're all going the right direction. So decide what culture you want to build, and you decide by the very answers you give to the excuses that come to your mind. The very work ethic that you're putting in right now, that is the culture that you're building. And last but not least, and I promise you, I will close, be very, very selective of who you let into this culture. We are not looking for everyone. We are an elite force. The days are long gone where if you fog a mirror, you can join the team. No, No, this is the Lakers. I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe. We'll say the Mavs. I'm a Dallas fan. Like, this is a top team, y'all. This is a top team. And you can't just come up as a scrub and make the team. But you know what makes a team? It's not so much your skill set, it's your mentality. So what I'm asking you is have a very, very strong filter. When you're deciding as you're recruiting which house to put your money in, because your time is your money, have some standards and have some short tests as you go through, as you're building your business, and ask yourself, would I recruit me? The short tests are, does the person do what they say they're going to do? Do they show up when they say they're going to show up? And when they show up, do they actually, how hard do they try? Do they put real effort into it? If they fail those two tests, you know some things I tell people to do? Hey, I need you to show up at this event. I need you to show up at this training. I need you to read two. I've even said it one time. Hey, there's a book online, or there's a paragraph online. You go to this website and read that paragraph and just let me know when you're done. Something that simple. If they don't do that, I don't care how good you think they are, drop them. They will ruin your culture. They call it toxic excellence, like a Trojan horse. So just remember that as we build this thing, that you are building yourself. And if you ever feel down, it's because you let yourself down and you need to refresh your culture. So remember, get out of your head by activity and choose the right house. Not every house is yours. The right one is the best one. All right, guys, I'm going to go and open up for questions. Until then, for those that are watching this, take care, take charge. We'll see you guys next week.